Welcome along, everybody, to GRS F4 once again. On the penultimate race already, didn't even realize how far along we are into the calendar. And it's a very special one today. If our championship leader, Arjun Senapati, scores 12 points or more, he will win the championship outright and be crowned the first ever GRS F4 champion. So we'll see what he can get done today. It's a difficult track to get right in Saudi Arabia. But I have full faith that he'll be able to make it work today. As we bring up the map, I'll say a first on the outlap. Once again, we get to see everyone's nice F1 World liveries. And now I can... Alright then. Like I said, difficult track here in Saudi Arabia. The walls are always present. Difficult to go side by side through a lot of the corners. A lot of people try anyway. So we'll see what everyone can get done. LSA is out on medium, so I don't think he's going to be setting a very fast lap. Kuwicker's in, sporting the Audi livery. Looks very nice. Kane said he had the silver livery on. Is this the same one as last time? I don't remember what everyone was running last time. Oh, looks very nice. I do like it. Who's ahead of him? Hodes. Nicer red and blue. Looks great. But anyway, Kuwicker's going to be the first one on a flying... No, he's not. That's the other orange car. Pyle is going to be the first one on an actual flying lap, sporting the triple crown livery, not the triple clown livery. And we'll see how he gets on with the lap. Only 10 drivers in today, so maybe not as much chaos as a normal race in Saudi Arabia. But here goes Pyle on the first flying lap of the day. Down one of 3 DRS straights. On the main pit straight, hard braking down into the turn 1 and 2 chicane. Taking plenty of curb there on the entry as you do. Walking it very wide to the exit as you do. Then heading into the S's section now. First one's pretty tight, and it's very easy to go a little wide on the exit, and then just feathering the throttle through the S's, maybe a little tap of the brakes through this corner to get the car turned in a little bit more. Patient on the throttle on the exit there, but Pyle looking very nice through there. Now coming up to turn 13, the long left-hander, to switch it the other direction and go down the back straight. Quick flick to the right coming up now. And also very easy to go wide there, especially on the entry. And if the driver takes too much curb, we might see some people throw themselves into the wall on the exit. Pyle seems to have it nicely hooked up, just ever so slightly turning left and right through the back straight, and then another flick to the left there through, what is that, turn 22. Then onto the third DRS straight of the track. Not much of a straight, constitutes turn 25 and 26, but pretty much a straight for any car or vehicle out there, really. Now he's around the final corner, turn 27, charging down the pit straight once again to cross the line, and it's a 128.7 for Pyle. Who is right behind him? Harris, sporting gray and green. Looks like a Razor car. 130.6 for Harris. And then who do we have next? Kuwicker, who is on an invalid lap. Charlie Gordon ahead of him, going into the pit lane on the mediums. What is Hodes up to? Up to an intermediate lap. And Senapati is on an out lap. Let's hop on board with Kake, and then he's going to be rounding the final corner. Looks to have a little twitch of the rear there on the exit of turn 27. What's it going to be from him? A 129.3 for Kake. Bring up the telemetry. And Hodes with the 134, but he was on intermediates, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyway. Parker's on a lap. Who's about to be crossing the line there? Is that Olami? Yes, it is. We're going to hop on board with Olami. The only one that can deny the championship going to Senapati today is Manuel Olami, the man we are riding on board with, who goes very wide at turn 1. compromises his line through 2 and the exit onto the short run to turn 4. Heading it through the S's now. Just a downshift to throw the car into that one. And so the car is getting out of the way. Heading through 27. I think it was, what was the number? Olami needs to outscore Senapati by 15 points, I believe, to take it to the final round. We've seen these two drivers definitely have a lot of pace. Olami taking that very dominant win in Spain. See if he can do that again today. It's gonna be a tough ask for everyone involved today. It's just a difficult track all around. But Olami flying along through Sector 3. Pinning it all the way to the final corner into turn 27. And nice and wide on the exit there without brushing the wall. Perfectly done. What is it going to be for Olami on his first lap of the day? It's a 128 flat. Senapati is heading through turn 13 now. So we'll hop on with him. Almost put it in the wall there on the entry to turn 16, I believe it was. Sometimes the car bites into the corners more than normal. That is another thing that makes this track difficult. But he's got it nice and hooked up through 22 there. And he's got one more major corner to go, coming up on 27. Nice and wide corner, taking it in third early on the power. And what is it going to be for Arjun Senapati, current championship hopeful and leader? A 127.8, 0.2 faster than Olami's time. Looking good so far. That is provisional pole. Still a long way to go. Hode's out on another intermediate lap. How about Alisea out on some softs? Alisea will be crossing the line now with a 128.3. Not a bad time at all. Gordon will be starting his lap right now. Lap on board. Oh, he's on mediums. That's not going to be a competitive lap. Nobody wants to use up any softs today. Kuiker is on a slow lap. Maybe just backed out of his run. I think Harris was going to be on an in-lap. Alright then. Senapati and Olami currently running 1 and 2. As they are in the championship. Alisea right behind. Everyone else in the mix. Kuiker getting his tires warmed up for another lap here. Although he hasn't switched the battery on. Nope, that was an interesting in-lap then. Right, there's a whole line of cars right behind him. And Cockane is heading the field there. So we'll watch his lap, currently a 129.3, putting him in P5 and looking to improve. Looking very wide over the exit curb there on the final portion of the S's. Easy to do. Currently down on his previous best by 1/10 of a second. Not too surprising, unfortunately. See if he can make up that time in the rest of the lap. Although it looks like he switched his battery off, so he's backed out of it after that one. Right behind him is Elliot Parker, so we'll pick up right where we left off with Cockane. Parker heading through the first back straight. Gonna throw it to the left there. Looks a little wide. But charging down the final back straight now to the final corner. And Parker crossing the line, currently P6 with a 130.4, improves by 9/10, says the Delta, but not enough for a position. Cockane still a couple tenths ahead. And is he going on another fast run now? I do believe he is, so we'll just keep an eye on the timing tower while we watch Cockane's lap. See if he's a little more careful through the final portion of the S's here, but got a little bit wide through the previous bend and put him offline for the final corner, so he really had to slow up through it. And he's put the car, I think he's just about brushed the wall there on the inside. So maybe not finding another great lap. I think he's still going on with it. And I think he switched the battery off once again. Having a little bit of trouble today then is Jack Cockane. But the very fast SS section through Sector 1 of Saudi Arabia, very difficult. Very difficult to do. Let's see, anyone else on a flyer right now? Olami might have just started. His battery's not quite sure what percentage to be at, but yes, I think he started another run. Oh, I was going to say we're going to hop on board with him, but a little early on the power there on the exit of the corner. Almost saw him go around. I think he just brushed the inside wall there as well on the left-hand side. And a little bit of mid-corner understeer there on the final S-bend. It's going to go into turn 13 now. And I'm trying to see how much time is left in qualifying, but it's just upset that someone's going a little slowly. Ooh, oh, Alami with another big slide coming out of turn 16. Don't think he's going to be improving too much. He's got 5 minutes left in the session. Still going for the lap, though. Thinks he can find some time through Sector 3. Really pushing on there in the Alfa Romeo. Which is very good to see. He knows what's at stake today. Wants to do everything he can to keep his championship fight alive. But might have just pushed a little too hard, and back into the pit lane goes Manuel Olami. I think I just saw Kuiker right behind him. And slams the wall there on the right-hand side with the rear of his car. Probably won't lose him a whole lot of time, though. And that's still good enough for P4. 128.3 for Kuiker. Senapati still holding provisional pole with a 27.8, and he's going around into Sector 2 now. Let's hop on board with him. A couple more major corners to go. We'll see him throw it to the left here. Very nicely done, keeping it in 7th to keep his traction under control, not over-torquing the rear tires. And now into the final corner. Little bit of wheel spin. Well, that's not going to be costing him much. What is it going to be for Senapati? Sets the fastest lap with a 127.6, so it was a 0.2 improvement. And just solidifies his provisional pole time. Anyone out there chasing him down right now? Cockane will be on an in lap, as will Kuiker. Gordon just started a lap. We'll hop on board with Gordon here. Still on the mediums. What is he doing? Lucas Hodes finishing up his lap. Goes from P10 to P6 with a 128.4. Gordon really working those mediums here. Not entirely certain what the strategy is, but maybe he thinks he needs every single soft tire compound. He's going to do like a medium, soft, soft, soft through the race, expecting a lot of safety cars. Could work. This would be the track to do it. He is improving by a good deal, but, well, I was going to say he's going to lose it. Somehow he didn't. Went way off the track at turn 22. He was improving by quite a bit last I saw from the Delta. What's it going to be for Gordon? Still on those medium tires. Improves by 1.6 seconds. Still a second and a bit off of P9 of Harris, who has retired from the session. So will not be improving. I don't think Gordon will have much time to improve either. Let's just see. Aliseo will be starting his final run right about now. Senapati currently not out on the track, which means that he is done for qualifying. So obviously quite confident in his time, and who can really blame him? Olami is out on track, and he is... Ooh, Alisea putting it in the wall there on the left-hand side through turn 4. It's going to lose him a lot of time, unfortunately, but still a lot of lap left to regain that. Hopefully not much wing damage. That'll lose some more time going over the exit curb on turn 10. Bit of a scruffy lap. I want to see what Manuel Olami is going to put up for us today. He's been absolutely pushing the Alfa Romeo, and he's going to do so once more. Crosses the line to start the lap. Let's see how he gets on with it. Charging down to turn 1, hard braking. Going over the curbs there on turn 1. A little wide through 2, but exits nicely. Going to flick it to the left through 4, a little wide at the apex, but just being careful not to hit the wall like we saw Alisea do. Now absolutely pinning it through the first few S's, downshifting through the right-hander here, just making sure not to get too wide on the exit. Beautifully taken there by Manuel Olami. Now coming up to turn 13, improving by half a second already. This could be big. Takes turn 13 nicely. He's got a few more corners, few more major corners to go here. On the back straight, had to maybe check up a little bit through there. Got a little spooked by the car turning in a little bit early. But that won't be losing him too much time. Now he's going to be throwing it to the left here. See how nicely he can take it, improving by almost 0.7 of a second. Little wide at the apex. Went over the curb on the right-hand side of the track. Gonna lose him a bit of time there too. But he's still got a lot of time in hand. One more corner to go. Through turn 27. Little wide at the apex, kept it in 5th. Don't know if that's the best way to do it. But what's it going to be for Manuel Olami? He's crossing the line now, and it's pole position for Olami. 127.5, just taking a 10th away from Senapati's time. Well, I guess I should say provisional pole time. Kuiker's on a flyer as well. Don't count him out. We've seen a lot of pace from him. Currently in P4 with a 28.3, and saw he was improving by half a second. Is there anything more he can find through the final corner? I think he just hit the outside wall again, like we saw him do last time. And jumps himself up into P3. 127.7 for him, right behind Senapati by just 0.04 of a second. And Pywell's on an invalid lap and doesn't have a front wing, so he's just retiring from the session. And that will do it for qualifying. So exciting already. And the top 2 in the championship are going to be lining up right next to each other heading into turn 1. So this is going to be exciting. Manuel Olami does take pole from Senapati. Kuiker's right behind them. Alisea in 4th. Pywell in 5th. Lucas Hode 6th. Cockane in 7th. Parker 8th. McKenna Harris in 9th. And Charlie Gordon really working the mediums in P10. It's going to be an absolute spectacle of a race. Everyone's going to be putting everything on the line. And I'm excited to be calling the action. So we'll get that started in just a few moments' time. We'll take a quick breather and then we'll get right back to it. And this is about the last thing I wanted to see. Manuel Alami saying his game is frozen. And hoping for a lobby restart would be a terrible way to start the race. Especially after that qualifying performance. I do hope for his sake we get a restart. Although it isn't mine to call. Whose is it to call? Luke? Zeke? No idea. Oh, we're at the grid. I'll keep my eye out for anything in the announcements channel. But the lights are out and we are racing in... we're racing in Saudi Arabia. 3 wide into the first corner. None of them, however, are Manuel Olami. Alisea taking the lead of the race. Kuiker getting spun around and we're just about going 4 wide. Pywell's at the front of the field. And Olami has left the session. Back up into second place is his AI. But Senapati goes through now. Lucas Hose right behind him will be the next one to take his position. Pywell doing well at the start. I should have been a little bit more excited there on the start. I was just a little sad for Olami. But he's going through turn... Oh, asking for another invite. See if I can get that going as fast as possible. Where you at? Pretty sure I have you. Oh, this one. No? Nope. Not online. Just refresh the menu here. I really want to get him in. Come on, come on, come on. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing you. Ask again later. If you know your game's online. Anyway, Powell leads us away after the first lap of the race. Senapati in tow. Hodes, just for saying, click on my name in Discord if you need to know how to spell it. I thought I added everyone on EA after last week, but anyway. Says he added me, no invites though. Refresh. Refresh. Got nothing. I've got nothing, I'm sorry, man. I was still leading from Senapati. And starting to... Well, Hodes is still right there. But the top 3 starting to drop away. Charlie Gordon and Kuiker, who had a terrible turn 1. And is chasing down Gordon on the soft tires. We'll bring up the detail here. If I know what I'm doing. And Kuiker just about pushing Gordon through the corner there. Wants to get back up into... whatever position he can find. It was kind of unfortunate seeing everyone go 3 wide through turn 1 and seeing the Audi get turned around. A little later braking there from Kuiker, had to do well to not hit the rear of Gordon. He's got the slipstream. Looks like he's just... No, now he's going for the overtake. Both of them will have their batteries activated, but Kuiker sliding it down the inside. I show in your friends list, but you not in mine, huh? Sure, you're watching if you saw your name right here. Oh, now it's there. I like this game. Oh, VSC. What's happened? Something's happened. Someone's going without a wing. Alisea does not have a front wing. And that'll bring out the VSC, and hopefully Olami can get in and make some magic happen. Sorry, I couldn't get that done earlier. Really unfortunate, yeah. Alright, at the front of the field, Pywell still leads us from Senapati and Hodes right behind them. Kuiker got ahead of Gordon right before the VSC. Kakane is a little bit no man's land right now, hoping to catch up to Gordon up ahead. Olami and Harris running nose to tail. Parker well behind, and Alisea unfortunately having to take a very long pit stop for a new front wing. Did so under the VSC, but still not ideal. And gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC as well. So, adding insult to injury. Senapati now chasing down Pywell for the lead of the race, but I think he's going to be a little bit too far back into turn 1. How about Gordon with DRS on the back of Kuiker? Shows his nose to the inside, but backs out of that one as well. And the top three just running nose to tail, keeping things clean. What was the number again? If Senapati scores 12 points or more, it's a complete shutout, I think. Could be wrong. Forgot to set my phone on Do Not Disturb. Here we go. And Senapati's going for it now, of all times, on the exit of turn 13. It's a difficult place to go side by side into this next corner, but he's diving it down the inside, and they make contact! No! Jamie Pywell spun around, almost collected Lucas Hodes. Fortunately, I think they did make contact, but just keeping the car pointed in the right direction. Still has his end plates. Hodes now with DRS. Has a little look down the inside on the final corner on Senapati. Maybe a little bump there as well, just for good measure. And DRS once again, Hodes is going to be going for it down into the chicane, making it side by side. Both of them breaking line astern, and they're going to keep it side by side as long as they can. Senapati's going to be fighting this one, but he's going to have the outside line into the next corner, and Hodes is up into the lead. Senapati went for one move to take the lead of the race, and the car that was behind him now inherits that lead. Did see that Olami set the fastest lap of the race, which is good to see. He's got some traffic to clear, but hopefully the DRS helps him get back up to where he was before, but just a little wide there and beaching himself on the curb. Kuiker retires from the session. What's happened here? Full safety car is out. And can we see where he is riding on board with Harris? His car just despawned. It was around here. But a full safety car. Now we get to see what sort of strategies come into play. Do the soft runners want to get rid of those before they start to degrade? Would the hards go to the end with 20 laps left to go? See what everyone's decisions are. What's everyone gonna do? Hodes dives in, Senapati dives in, Pywell's in, Gordon is in, Cockane is in, Olami is in as well. So it looks like the entire field is gonna be in to change their tires now. Interesting because I don't think the mediums are gonna be too worn out quite yet. But we'll see what everyone's strategy call is. Mediums for Hodes, softs for Senapati. Interesting. Mediums for Pywell. Charlie Gordon going onto the hards, as is Cockane and Olami. Parker's in as well on the hard tires, getting rid of those. Very interesting to see. Harris is going to be the only one that stays out, but I think that might be an AI car. Seeing as how it's ghosted. I feel like that's a weekly occurrence with Harris. I could be completely wrong about that. But anyway, Harris inherits the lead of the race on 5-lap old medium tires. Lucas Hodes right behind. Senapati in third place with new soft tires. So he's going to be looking to dispatch the two drivers ahead of him as quickly as possible. Pywell will be hopeful to stay within touching distance of him. And then everyone else is going to be going long. Well, everyone on these hard tires are going to be going long. I'm sure Olami can find some pace on those new hard tires to get past Cockane and Gordon, but might be a little bit hard-pressed to challenge Pywell, Senapati, Hodes, and Harris, maybe, depending on whether that is an AI car. Still a lot to play for. Race isn't over yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a post-race penalty applied to Arjun Senapati for that contact. So it's all up in the air. Safety car is still out. Looks like Parker and Alisea still need to form up. Huge break for Alisea being able to catch up to the back of the safety car train. Hopefully it doesn't like go in super early and just not wait for him. That'd be very unfortunate. Because he's pretty much going at race pace right now, trying to catch up to the back of the safety car train. We've all been there at least once. Alright, I think Alisea should be able to catch the safety car train by the end of the lap. It is a pretty long lap, and the safety car doesn't go too fast on the straights. Guicker has left the session, which is... Oh, yeah. Oh, he DNF'd, so... Forgot about that already. 9 drivers left today in GRS F4. Tensions are high. Safety car is coming in. Alisea is just bringing up the rear now. I'm sure those hard tires will be right up to temperature after being pushed pretty hard. So we're right on board with Hodes. How is this restart gonna go? Looks like Harris is not allowing the safety car to get very far along. And we are racing again. There we go. Senapati and Pyle getting side by side. Looks like Pyle's going to be trying to make it around the outside into turn 1, but the soft tires are not going to allow him to do that, or his mediums rather. Further back, looks like everything's fairly clean. Harris dropping down to 4th, now 5th. Yep, definitely an AI car then. Olami stuck in 7th place right now, but everyone's going to be fighting pretty hard for whatever position they can find. Senapati's going to be charging on those soft tires for 1st position. Hodes is going to be doing everything he possibly can to keep him behind. And we'll just keep an eye further back. Olami going for another move. This one will see him up into 6th position if he can get past Cockane, who is definitely deploying some battery to keep that position. And he has to check up quite a bit on the inside of the corner. And Olami is through. Cockane might have just hit the wall on the outside. I think I heard some impact, but they're still going to be side by side down the back straight. And Olami has to back out of this one. Here comes Alisea down the inside and shows the curb to Olami. Has absolutely no regard for the championship hopeful. Olami down into 7th place. Senapati making it side by side around the outside of the final corner. Gets a good drive out of the exit with those soft tires. Hodes is going to be right behind him. Gets a great slipstream and is going to try around the outside into turn 1. Possible to do because it's a chicane. But Senapati just edges ahead with some later braking and solidifies his 1st place. Meanwhile, Olami getting that place back from Alisea. Back up into 5th position. Now needs to catch back up to Charlie Gordon. Alisea not backing off whatsoever, though. Almost nothing separating the front wing and the rear wing of those two cars. But the front 3 are starting to run away into the sunset. It's not what Olami would have wanted. He would have wanted to be ahead of Gordon already, rather, and chasing the front 3 down. Sure, he's going to be going for it soon, though. Another yellow flag. Alisea has lost it on the exit of the corner there. Going right-handed. Don't remember what number it is. 16 at the beginning of Sector 2. But we stay green. Hode's still right behind Senapati. Look at this shot. Though I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move down the inside at this corner. See how good of an exit he can get to challenge down into turn 1 once again. Olami going for it now on the inside of the final corner. Alisea retires on track. Now we have the DRS. Olami trying to keep Charlie Gordon at bay, who's going to be trying it around the outside of turn 1. And well, we haven't seen this work yet today, but space is given from Olami, who then promptly shuts the door into turn 2. Olami up into 4th position, has 4 seconds to chase down Pywell. Let's see what he can do. Lap 10 of 25. They're ticking by rather quickly. Only 15 to go. Here's Parker going pretty wide there in the background. Cockane chasing down Charlie Gordon. Getting very close there through 16, and he's lost it on the exit. Spinning up the rears just a little bit too much, and he definitely has some front wing damage. And that is not what he would have wanted. Had a lot more pace than Gordon through that corner. Gordon will be relieved to see that one. Olami's already taken a second out of the gap between himself and Pywell. He's absolutely flying along here today. Oh, but he's a little eager on the throttle there on the exit of the final corner. That's really going to hurt his run down the pit straight. Further back, Parker chasing down Gordon with the DRS and some slipstream. Gordon's already spent most of his battery trying to keep Cockane at bay. A little bit of wheel banging going on into turn 1, but Parker still makes it through. Going all over the curbs there is Gordon. Does well to keep his car on the track for the most part. Hode's still trying to keep within DRS range of Senapati, but I see that his battery is harvesting now. Just closes within 1 second at the DRS detection point. Let's hope that was enough. Yes, it is, so he does have DRS to try and catch a little bit, though. We'll have to see if that was enough. It's going to have DRS once again down this section. And that'll probably get him close enough for DRS down the pit straight that we're coming up to. Then he has to do well to follow Senapati through the S's and the more technical part of the circuit through Sector 1 and the beginning of Sector 2. He's within half a second now. He's got some slipstream, he's got some DRS, but not quite enough straight to dive it down the inside on Senapati. Gap now down to 2 seconds between Powell and Olami. So still flying along. Parker gets our first time penalty for track limits of the day. Kind of surprising it came this late, honestly. Although, usually the drivers try to do everything they possibly can to keep their car on the track because of how deadly some of the curbs are. Lucas Hode's getting very close to Senapati now. Is he going to try anything into the final corner? Might he bide his time for DRS going down into turn 1? It's going to be a little bit of a risk either way. He's going to opt for the outside. No, he doesn't want to make the move quite yet. Wants to get a good exit out of the final corner. And very nicely done there. Gets a very good exit on the inside. He's got DRS as well, and he is pushing along side by side with Senapati. He's going to have the inside line for turn 1 unless Senapati can switch it on him, but Lucas Hodes takes the lead of the race. Powell into the pit lane now on only 7-lap-old medium tires. So Olami now up into 3rd position. 8 seconds is the gap between himself and Senapati ahead. If Hodes and Senapati keep fighting like this, they might start losing some time to Olami. Like I said, still a lot to play for. And he's going to make it side by side with Hodes coming out of turn 13. And he is back ahead into the lead. Senapati regains the lead from Hodes. Maybe purposefully not fighting that one too much. For the DRS, however... Oh, there we go. Activated now. Lucas Hodes did get the DRS. And he's going to try it down the inside. No, he's not. Thinks better of it. Senapati going very wide there, so they are losing each other time, I do believe. Just over 7 seconds now the gap. And Senapati spending a lot of battery as well. Hodes is going to try the exact same move for the second time in a row. Senapati covers him off, and Hodes just about pushing Senapati along the straight. Senapati's into the pit lane. So the soft's starting to wear out now. And Olami will inherit 2nd place. Is he going to the end? There's quite a ways left to go. 11 laps left. So that'll make his tires 19 laps old at the end of the race. They won't feel too good. And Senapati would be catching him by quite a bit on the newer mediums, so see what kind of strategies we can find today. Of course, with a somewhat long track and 8 drivers still in the race, the chances of a safety car going down by the second as the field starts to spread themselves out. So though, it only takes 1 driver to make a mistake over the curb in the S's. We'll keep an eye on the gap. 8.5 seconds between Hodes in first place and Olami in second. Gordon's trying to do everything to get within a second of Parker. But I don't know if that is going to work out for him too well. Do both of them have same penalties? No. 6 seconds for Parker and only 3 for Gordon. Powell right behind Senapati now, who has already spent a lot of his battery on new soft tires, trying to chase down the championship leader. So the fight is not over yet. Kind of surprised that Powell was not ahead after the pit stops, because he did pit first, and for a softer compound and going over that curve is very deadly. Doing well to keep his McLaren on the track. Says he has the pit limiter engaged. Well, it did on that camera angle. I assure you he doesn't. That would be a very, very high pit lane speed limit. But the gap's starting to grow between Senapati and Powell now, which is surprising to see. Gap shrinking just a little bit between Olami and Hodes. First and second. 10 more laps to go, and Hodes is in from the lead of the race. Olami's going to be coming in from second as well. So let's watch these 2 pit stops. New mediums for Hodes. Parker inherits the lead of the race. Olami in for some mediums as well. Senapati is passed. And he's going to be rejoining right with Hodes. And Senapati is ahead, but Hodes is going to have the slight tire advantage. Maybe not quite yet, because the tires do need to come up to temperature. So Hodes might not be going for anything quite yet, but he's going to have 2-lap newer mediums, as is Olami, who also came out behind Pywell. Oh, Hodes is going for it. Senapati, someone was very wide through one of the S's there. Just caught it for a couple frames. But, Hodes is through into third place. We'll be getting DRS down the back straight, though. Oh, and some DRS chicken there going on between Hodes and Senapati. Hodes knows what works. We've seen him do it a couple times, getting the DRS down this section and into the pit straight as well, with a good exit out of the final corner. Is Hodes going to do it again? No, he's going to try it down the inside, maybe just showing his nose, trying to put Senapati offline a little bit there. Hodes is going to have the DRS once again, and there's a bit of a gap between these two. I'm sure they're going to be pushing pretty hard. Is Hodes going to be going for it? He's a bit far back. He's still going to dive down the inside. Space given by Senapati, but retains that position. Hodes having to settle for 4th as it stands. Pywell's still chasing these 2 down. Olami's still chasing these 2 down. Right then, here we go again. Was this round 3 or round 4? Senapati and Hodes on the back straight. Here we go once again. DRS open now for Hodes. And what's the strategy call this time? Is he just going to go for it as soon as he can? I think he is. Down the inside, and Senapati has to back out of that one. Or maybe does so willingly. Does he get the DRS for this straight? No, he does not. So Hodes is going to further that gap. I don't think it's going to be enough to drop Senapati by over a second. No, it's not, so he's still going to have DRS, but he is a ways behind. Pyle and Olami now going at it. I think Olami's going to have the DRS and... Ooh, wow. Pyle almost pulling an Apo and trying to go into the pit lane from the outside of the track. Now the gap between Senapati and Olami just over 3 seconds. And I'm sure Hodes is going to keep fighting him as hard as possible. I think Parker just made a mistake there, saw the gap absolutely diminish between these two. Haven't made another pit stop yet, as has everyone behind them, so they're going to be a good deal slower. Maybe Hodes can get some DRS, but still half a second ahead are these two as they swap positions through turn 13. Charlie Gordon takes the lead of the race. Hodes is within a second now, so he's going to get DRS to help further himself along from Senapati, as well as a bit of a slipstream. And he's just going to hope that he doesn't get caught up in these two's little battle here. There we go. I think he is anyway. He's... Oh, look at that! Trying it down the inside at the last second. Elliott Parker takes himself out, as well as Gordon, actually, still on track, which is surprising to see. But Hodes and Senapati both through, and look at this. Olami right behind Senapati. Gordon doesn't want to fight this one, but Olami certainly does, right on the rear wing of that car. Hodes is well enough along. Now, that was very close between those two. Senapati going into the pit lane. Does he have damage? Did he get damage somewhere? Did I miss something? What's he come into the pit lane for? Only 5-lap old medium tires. It's going to be going on to new softs. Probably. New front wing. New front wing for Arjun Senapati. Absolutely huge. Pyla's through as well. Into third place. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, it's a difficult track to keep everything clinical. Arjun Senapati has a bit of ground to make up now. And don't forget, we saw that contact between himself and, who was it? Down into turn 22. Don't remember who it was. Was it Cockane? I think it was a white car. It might have been Cockane. Don't remember, but... Big developments. Big developments today. Got a smile on my face. Big tensions, big developments. Lucas, oh, that was a big hit of the wall there on the exit from Olami. Still has his end plates intact, so if he has wing damage, it isn't much. 2 seconds separate himself and the lead of the race, where he qualified. If anyone's watching that knows the math on the standings as it is right now, I would really appreciate it. Because I feel like Senapati's really on the fringes in 4th place. And if Olami can take the win, that'd be pretty big. Probably something I should have prepared beforehand. But anyway, a lot of variables today. I'd hesitate to declare anyone the champion or not so after the race today, no matter how it finishes, really. Still 5 laps left to go. Race isn't over by any means. Olami's still chasing down Hodes. And the gap is starting to go down a little bit, but we did see that Olami does not have much battery left. I'm sure Hodes doesn't either. These two have been giving it absolutely everything today. And they just need to find a little bit more to push for the final few laps of the race. Jack Hakkinen finally gets past Charlie Gordon. Of course, Senapati does have 3rd position on penalties. Don't forget that. What's it for Paiwa? 3 seconds. Look at this. 3 cars battling it out. Gordon back ahead of Hakkinen. Parker trying it down the inside to get past as well. And Hakkinen's just lost 2 positions in 2 corners. Down to 7th now. 10-lap-old medium tires. He's not going to be contending much with the tires of everyone ahead of him. Less than a second separate the top 2 then. Manuel Olami will be satisfied only with the victory today. And I have to say, if he gets it, very, very hard fought. How much is Hodes going to fight him? We saw him fight Senapati a whole lot. Olami down the inside into the final corner. Hanging it around the outside is Hodes. Gets a pretty good exit on the outside. And they're still going to be line astern. Hodes with the DRS. Neither of them with much battery left. Going to be side by side into turn 1. Hodes just has a nose ahead. And is Olami going to be able to fight it around the outside? No, he's not. Valiant effort from Olami. Still in 2nd place, though. Senapati and Paiwal now fighting. And might have been a little nudge between the 2 of them. Paiwal's going to have the DRS down the pit straight. And we might see the exact same thing. Here we go. Paiwal once again ahead of Senapati. And these 3 still fighting it out amongst themselves. Hakkinen doing well to stay right behind these 2. Up at the front of the field. Olami's going to be trying it again. Down the back straight. It's going to make it side by side around the outside. Hopefully nobody makes contact. Space is given both ways. Well, it's a difficult place to make an overtake, and Olami couldn't find it there. Seeing Senapati still right behind Paiwal. And oh, a little bit more wheel banging and some more between these 2 going down the back straight. Wow, getting pretty aggressive there are those 2. While we were watching that, Olami did take the lead once again through turns 1 and 2. Lucas Hodes now has to fight him back. Lap 23 of 25. Not much time left in the race. Senapati doing well to drop Jamie Paiwal behind him. Lucas Hodes, however, still going to be fighting Olami. Maybe just going to hang back, keep the DRS, keep the slipstream, charge up his battery for a final lap push. Or maybe he wants it now. Who really knows? These 2 have been fighting so hard amongst themselves and, well, pretty much everyone else on the grid today. Rounding the final corner once again. Going to take us to lap 24. Olami still leads right now. Hodes is going to try it around the outside of turn 1. Later braking for Olami, covers that one off. And a much better line through there from Olami. Gonna just make the gap go up a little bit. Make Hodes a little nervous. Make him burn off a little bit more battery even. Coming up to a back marker though. That is Harris in the AI car. And I rather get the feeling that Olami's going to be able to get DRS here. In fact, he might just stay behind that car for as long as possible until they get through the DRS detection point. Nope, he's going to lose too much time. And he was going very slowly behind that car. That's what he wanted to do at first. Hodes was able to keep more speed through that corner. And he's going to have the DRS. Once again, Hodes into the lead of the race. Oh, man. Olami's going to be fighting this one back, though. As the inside going into the final corner. We've seen Hodes get this move done. Right behind his opponent. Into the final corner, trying for a better exit. It's going to have the DRS. Olami pushing along. Making that gap grow. Not going to make it easy for Lucas Hodes. And he's not going to be close enough to make a move here. He does have a better line through 1 and 2. And Olami just about loses it on the exit of turn 2. Not what you want to see. They're going to be side by side into 4, I think this is. And Hodes is back into the lead of the race. Sure, nerves are starting to become a factor for all our drivers sliding around even some more. Is Manuel Olami. Sure, the hands are shaking. The breaths are getting shallow. Sweat starting to pour a little bit. Final lap of the race. Manuel Olami needs to push as hard as he possibly can without going over. Has a nice line through there. He's going to have DRS. Is he going to want to take the position heading into the corner that we're coming up to? Or is he going to wait for the final corner? He's going to go for it now. Not fought too hard by Hodes. He's going to have DRS down the second portion of the back straight. And whoever's behind is going to have DRS for the first little section of the pit straight. That could make all the difference. Lucas Hodes going around the outside. Manuel Olami doing well to defend the inside. Is he going to be able to fight this one back, though? He's going to get a little bit of a slipstream and some DRS. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Lucas Hodes crosses the line first to take the win in Saudi Arabia. Manuel Olami with a very, very hard-fought second place. Not for a lack of trying. Arjun Senapati, however, I think he's going to keep that third position. If he gets a penalty, probably going to be a 5 seconds, but Parker right behind him is going to be more than 5 seconds away. So tentatively, as Senapati does round to the final corner, and I do say tentatively, pretty sure he's going to be the first F4 champion crowned today. I could be wrong, if there's some fringe case going on, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. What an exciting race that was. That was an absolute joy to watch. And there's Hodes coming out onto the podium. He has his win today in F4. Olami, very hard fought second. Senapati, bit of a scruffy race. Not what we usually see from him, but still managing third. All of these drivers did a tremendous job today. Still curious to see what happened to Kuiker, though. Anyway, here's your official results. Hodes taking the win from Olami. Senapati in third. Jack Hawkane still finishing fourth place. Pylewell in fifth. Parker in sixth. Charlie Gordon seventh. McKenna Harris in eighth. Alisea and Kuiker not seeing the checkered flag. We're going to go to the incident screen, take a quick scroll through there in case anyone needs it. And that will do it today for GRS F4. And we're going to see everyone next time. I think it's the final race in Qatar next week, so tune in for that. If today was anything to go off of, next week's going to be an absolute bloodbath for the final race of the season, so tune in for that. I'm going to be happily calling the action for that one as well. It's been an absolute joy commentating for F4, especially today's race. Instant classic, highlight reel stuff today, so we'll see everyone next week. Appreciate everyone tuning in.